What's up? Welcome to the Smiling In podcast, where I'm trying to get my friends to say a secret word or phrase. Unbeknownst to them. Is that the right use of that word? Unbeknownst? Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. They have no idea that that's what I'm trying to do. So I've got 9 different episodes that I pre-recorded, 9 different guests, and they're all very suspicious of me. So have fun listening and trying to figure out what I'm trying to get them to say, and have a great day.
So my brother and he just got his license, so he's 16 doing that whole thing. So he's like trying to just drive all the time, only for us to realize that he had driven over a nail and popped my tire. And we have 2 cars for 3 of us, so it's like great, rock and roll. So my mom wakes me up frantically, like, we just drove your brother to summer camp. Now we got to go get your car fixed. And I say, Mom, please, it's very early in the morning. And she says, yes, point proven. You don't want to wait in line. And I say, thanks, Mom. So we roll up, and ironically, I had to get the car inspected as well. Like, so it was going on Saturday. And whenever I get there, they're just like, well, we'll just do it. Fast forward like 5 hours, and they're like, yeah, your car failed inspection violently. So I'm going to need $1,500 from you to make your car legal to drive. And I was like, okay, sure. $1,500. I have that. No problem. And I said, Mom, please, I'm begging. I'm hands and knees begging for help here. Because the same exact thing happened like about a year ago whenever I got my car inspected. They're like, yep, your car is a piece of absolute garbage.
Oh, no.
Like, the whole thing itself, it kept dying. I drive a 2011 Kia Soul, and that thing has been a family heirloom since we got it. It's like passed around from everybody. And it's at the point where I have it now, and the battery would die all the time. So we took it, and they just disconnected all of the electronics from the inside. So now I don't have a stereo, I don't have a clock, I don't have like anything at all. It feels like a 1985 station wagon, and I'm like, great, love that. This is the future is now. I shouldn't be living like a caveman. So I use a Bluetooth speaker to listen to music, and we love it. We love life.
That sounds awful, Derek.
Yeah, I can't say it's great. We make it work the best that we can, but it's rough.
There's gotta be a better option here.
I'm like trying to look forward to the next few years, and I'm like, I'll just get a better car when I have a big boy job and make some real person money, as opposed to like I'm a server right now, which is a lot of fun, but it's like you don't make like a whole new car money off of being a server.
Right.
So I just live with that right now. We love it.
Have you considered like a used car? So I've been working at car dealerships for like 3 years now. So, I mean, it just sounds like this car is going to cost you a lot of money in like maintenance while you save up money to get a used car.
Yeah, that's kind of. Well, I was talking to my mom about it today, and it's like, she's like, just start saving money now, and whatever happens, like, I know that I could give you some money, your grandpa can give you some money, and like when you graduate, that kid will like. Not like a car is being purchased for me, but they're just like, here's some money, please get out of my house, like as like the graduation present, quote unquote. Like, so I mean, obviously, like, start saving now and building up to it. So it's like the car will work for 2 more years and then it's gone. Like, we're trading it in, and ideally I'll get a newer Kia Soul, because as much as I hate it, I love it. It's such a great, fun car to drive.
Yeah.
Like, if you remember those stupid commercials from 2011 where the hamster...
With the hamsters?
Yes. And the amount of times people refer to me as a hamster, it is quite frankly ridiculous, disrespectful, and disgusting. But they're having a ball. Like, an absolute great time in those vehicles. I love that.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and that's how I'm feeling when I'm driving. The real kick in the dick with the whole thing is that on the inside, on the driver's and the passenger side door, there's like color changing lights, and I don't have a clock in my car, and the lights on the roof don't work, But anytime I get in the car, those color changing mood lights are on. It's just
Well,
a reminder that everything is bad.
I mean, it sounds kind of cool.
It's really cool, but it's like if I had to sacrifice those lights for at the very least like my locks to work in the car, that'd be ideal.
Yeah.
But it is it is what it is. It's like that's why you have the keyhole on the side of the car door. You just unlock it that way.
Yeah, my car actually doesn't have that. So if my key batteries die,
Oh no.
then I don't think I'd be able to get into my car. Although there is a way, because there's like an emergency. Or wait a second, is there a keyhole? No, there's not a keyhole. No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. My brain is a little tired today.
It happens.
But what was I trying to say? Oh yeah. But I think if my batteries and my keys died, I don't think I'd be able to get into the car.
They just sold you a brick at that point. Like, there should be a workaround for that. Like, I know there's an emergency thing, but it's like, I get it, like the keyless thing, but just let me get into my vehicle, please. I'm begging.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, the keys will definitely let me know before they die completely. Like, it's supposed to, like, start flashing or something.
Well,
but
I guess that's a positive at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I just had a major brain fart. What was I gonna say?
Car keys.
Probably. No, so the amount of people who will call into the car dealership like, my key batteries are dead. This is terrible. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And for me to be able to just be like, well, the parts department will replace them for free. Yeah. And they're like, well, that would have been nice to know before they died. It's like, you had plenty of time.
So they just
to know that your batteries were going to die before they died.
You just need to recruit a friend to drive you to the dealership at that point. Like,
exactly.
Sure. I just spent a long time railing against the system, but it's like, it's not a terrible problem to have fixed. It's like, just say, hey, anyone I know, I will Venmo you $15, please. I'm begging. Just help me live.
So, what are you going to school for? I feel like I've asked you this before, but I don't remember.
So the entire title of my program is Integrated Marketing Communication with a concentration in publication design. So technically I'll be like, I take social media classes, I take graphic design classes, I take business classes and marketing classes. But it was kind of cool because it was, whenever I got to choose like a concentration, it was just new media, which was be kind of boring with like, hello, yes, I run a social media account for just a local business. Or I chose like the graphic design path because that's what I have a lot of fun doing. Well, publication design, you get yelled at if you say either one interchangeably, because publication design is like posters and stuff, while graphic design is like art. I think that they're interchangeable, but some people get really mad about that.
That sounds really cool. And the title of it alone made me feel really dumb for a moment.
No, it's... So the it's like through the comm department at my school, and they're great, but it could be a little bit better in some ways, but overall, like, I'm having a great time with it. There is no complaints I have.
That's good. That's all that matters.
Yeah. It's like, if there were more design classes, that would be great. I guess the way that they do it is they work with the art department to try and, like, just be a graphic design minor, because here's, like, a specific one for comm majors. But I waited too long to do that, and now I have a political science and gender studies minor because that's what I thought I wanted to do.
Well, I was thinking about going back to school like in the fall, but I mean, the reason I dropped out to begin with, because I'm 26 now, so like we're getting past the age where it's like, people just assume you're in school.
Yeah.
And so, well, the reason I dropped out to begin with was just because of, mental health
Yeah.
problems and not being able to balance, being a person at the same time and going to school.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a like much better place and I want to try going back to school, but then there's some anxiety around, having to figure out how am I going to pay for it now because, I don't remember how to get scholarships and stuff, and I don't think I qualify for any scholarships at this point. I'm a whole adult, but now I have to like figure out how to be a student again, and it's a lot harder,
Yeah.
I think, as an
It
adult.
really is. And another thing that like in your position that what I could definitely see being like really stressful is like you're like if provided that if you're doing online it's a little different, but if you like go to a campus, it's like, oh, there's this like older person in there, which I think is a really dumb thing anyway. We're all at a college to like grow as people and like shoot for whatever star we see as ours. And I think that's like a really silly stereotype that people put on. It's like people just weren't going to school at the time that you are. It's not a huge
Yeah.
deal.
I mean, I'm not so much worried about that because I get mistaken for being a lot younger than I am like as it is. Like, for example, I was buying I'm sorry, I'm trying to I was buying something from the gas station and I'll just say it. I was buying Jewel Pods from the gas
Love it.
station,
Love
and
it.
I was trying to remember, like, is my mom gonna listen to this? But it's whatever. I'll just not tell her about this episode, I guess. I was buying Jewel Pods from the gas station, and I was asking about the mango Jewel Pods because, they stopped carrying those
In
at
stores.
gas
Yeah, yeah,
stations.
yeah. I read about
Yeah.
that.
And so, and the cashier was like, we're gonna have them again probably in like February. And I'm asking this, I asked them in November, I asked in December, and then I asked in January. So the last time I asked, he said, we're gonna have them again, probably in February, but you're gonna have to be 21 to buy them. And I was like, that's no problem, I'm 25. And he's like, for real? It's like, yeah. How old did you think I was? And he goes, shit, I thought you were like 16 or 17.
Love it.
And I was like, then why have you been selling me Jewel Pods for like 4 months? And he started laughing because I caught him. Like, because he really hasn't been checking my ID that whole time. I thought it was because he thought I was old enough. And turns out he didn't think I was old enough and he was still not checking my ID. And he just starts laughing and tells me he's super high.
We love
I was
that.
like,
We love that.
great.
Really.
This
That's incredible.
this is why you don't carry mango Jewel Pods
Because
anymore.
bro would eat them. He'd be like, maybe this will get me high, and just eat them. Fuck it, dog. When you're
Maybe.
just chilling out here high at work all day, every day, good for you, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Unless you're giving Jewel Pods to minors, then maybe you should at least check their ID.
Yeah, at the very least. Even just, like, if you're too high to read, like, legible English, just be like, doesn't look right, and then throw it back at them. They'll be like, well,
Yes.
I'm 75, and I clearly look that way, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's how I feel it when I'm, like, so I serve at my dad's bar. So that's always like a fun thing is like the kids who very clearly are like 21. I'm like, can I see your ID? And they just get like, they're still weird about it. And I'm like, I'm just going to look to
Yeah.
see if it says that you were like 21. You don't even have to do the math. It just says under 21 until, and I don't know how it is for where you are, but like minor licenses are vertical while people who are over 21 are horizontal. So it's just
Yes.
like if it's horizontal, you won already. I just look to see if the sticker, like the fake sticker, is peeling off to reveal the Yu-Gi-Oh card or something, if it's a fake one or not. And it's like, okay, congratulations, here's your Corona Light.
Yes, yeah, they're vertical if you're under 21 here.
Cool. I assumed it's like a forever, like everywhere kind of deal, but
yeah, at least in America.
Yeah.
My favorite interaction I witnessed at a restaurant and a guy trying to purchase alcohol or order alcohol. He orders like a margarita or something, and the waitress asks for his ID, and he's obviously on a date with a girl.
Yeah.
So he starts pulling out his wallet like, I haven't been asked that in a long time. It's been forever since someone didn't think I was over 21. It's like, shut up. You look 19.
Look 19. I am 20, and people are like, wow, it must be crazy being 24. And I'm like, please, it's just because I'm 6'2" and built like a refrigerator. You wouldn't say that if I was a little bit smaller. I do look like a small boy. I'm just tall.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm 6'2", which is like a normal tall person height, but I hang around exclusively short people. So I was told an anecdote about me being very tall is like whenever we would meet like family friends who had young kids, they would always be really afraid of me and wouldn't want to talk to me. And I was like, I've always been tall. So I was like, Dad, why don't they just want to be my friend? Because they're all having fun playing with my little brother and everything. And they're like, well, that's because you're about 3 times their size and they're intimidated by you. And it was taken aback. I didn't realize I was honestly Sully from Monsters Inc. But
yeah,
I get that a lot. But I hang out with a friend who is very, very clearly Randall from Monsters Inc. So it's not a big deal. We complete the trifecta with our other Mike Wazowski ass friend.
Randall before his trauma that made him an antagonist.
Sort of. He's arguably an antagonist, but that's because I love him to death and I'm allowed to say that.
Oh.
Just like we love him. A good man.
I feel like that was probably the most tragic backstory for an antagonist in anything I've ever watched.
I still think one more time. Oh, this is from the second one, yeah?
It's from Monsters University.
Yeah, I haven't seen Monsters University. I'm not even gonna.
Oh my, you have to.
I know. I'm terrible with watching like any movie or any show. I want to be better at it, but it's just like I get to a certain point with them and then I'm like, okay, cool. The season has reached like where I'm done being interested, and it's hard for me to just force myself to keep watching it.
Yeah.
So that's why I got to like the 4th season of The Office, and I'm like, okay, this is enough of The Office. And then I like the same thing with like I started watching Breaking Bad and got to like the 3rd season, and I'm like, okay, this is enough for me. Like I reached the point where I'm just over it much quicker than I probably should. But
yeah,
I don't know. That being said, I can watch the same YouTube video about 5 or 6 times in a row because I'm that kind of person.
But they're a lot shorter, so it's like you can.
Yeah, it's like if a YouTube video is like a 30-minute long episode of some show or like of their content or whatever they're putting out, it's easier for me to watch that a bunch of times or like sit down and watch a series like that than it is for me to watch like a TV show or something like that.
Right.
But I guess that's...
I know. I couldn't watch Breaking Bad, and what was that other show that I couldn't finish watching? Dexter.
Dexter was just... I watched a lot of that, and I'm like, this is dumb. We got all we needed after, like, the 3rd season. It was like, oh, he's cool because he's, like, edgy. And I watched that when I was, like, an edgy teenager, so I was like, yeah, dark and brooding, like, just kills people. That's crazy. That's cool. And then you're like, okay, I'm over it. This whole monotone delivery really isn't doing it for me anymore.
Yeah. Once I got past the whole like, oh, that's cool. He likes killing people, but he only kills bad people. That's crazy.
So I'm not a bad person
yeah.
for liking him, because he only kills bad people.
Yes. But I feel like a lot of the shows that I watch are just so because other people are watching them and I want to be in on the loop.
Yeah, especially with like how it's like Game of Thrones, for example, where it's like if you aren't watching Game of Thrones, you're ostracized. Or if you claim to be like the one special person who hasn't seen Game of Thrones, then it's like the same thing. You're either starkly in one camp or the other.
Yeah, so just watch it.
Yeah. It's a completely normal thing. Like, plus if everybody's talking about it, you don't want to just be like over there not being able to be like a part of the conversation. It's not the same thing. Like, after you, I'm sorry.
Oh, there's so many conversations that you just wouldn't be able to be a part of if you didn't watch Game of Thrones. Or like while I was, waiting until I actually had money to go to the movies and see Endgame, I was avoiding spoilers like it was a sport.
Yeah. It makes complete sense.
Once I finally saw it, I was like, all right, bring it on. I'm ready to talk about it. I don't care about spoilers. They don't even exist to me because I know everything.
Exactly.
So let's do it. But then by the time I'd actually seen it and I was like telling everyone like, okay, let's talk about it. I'm ready to talk about it. Everyone had already talked about it.
Yeah.
They were done.
Because it's like, it's on to the next thing. And it's not even like the same thing where it's like, oh, people are just blindly following other people. It's like, no, I just want to be able to talk about stuff. Like, I'm making the conscious choice after hearing that this is like a good piece of media that I am choosing to consume it and choosing to interact with people about it. It isn't like just some blind mentality. It's like, no, people say this is good. I'll probably like it, so I'm going to try it.
Yeah, like, I guess that's what happened to me with The Office. That's the only reason I watched The Office was because multiple people told me, this show is so good, you gotta watch it. Or, like, they'll reference it, and I'm like, I don't get your joke. And they're like, you gotta watch The Office. So I watched The Office.
The Office is, like, 9 or 10 seasons, and I want to honestly, realistically say about 20 of the episodes are, like, good television.
Really?
I guess just because it just feels a lot of the same at certain points.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, Jim did a thing to Dwight again, and Dwight's overreacting to a situation, and Michael's oblivious. I get it. Haha. That be, like, some of the episodes, it does it really, really well. Like, the whenever they go up to the Dwight, Jim, and Michael go up to the other branch, and they're just messing with Jim's ex-girlfriend or whatever. I don't remember the names of the characters because I am horrible and awful, but that was just like a masterclass. I was having a great time watching it, but then like the hardcore parkour episode, it's like, okay, oh, Andy did something silly and he got hurt. We knew this was going to happen. Yeah.
I feel like after Jim and Pam get married is probably when I could have stopped watching.
Yeah. It's just those things where it's like this is where they probably wanted it to end, but they weren't able to make it end there, you know?
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, if people are out here having a great time enjoying every episode of all 10 seasons, I'm really happy for them. Just because I'm a little whiny baby who hates everything doesn't mean you have to hate everything.
True. And you know what's funny is, so with my ex-boyfriend, we were watching The Office. And after, there's that episode where Jim says that he bought the engagement ring after their first date because he knew that they were going to get married.
Yeah.
And that messed with my boyfriend at the time so bad that he broke up with me.
Oh.
Yeah. He he just went a little nuts and freaked out and said that he could never see himself marrying me, and so he can't be with me anymore. And I was like, really? Okay. Because of Jim and Pam. Got it.
Jim and Pam.
You're crazy. You're a freak.
Yeah, that's buck wild. Absolutely off the rails. From Jim and Pam. Yeah. Everybody loves Jim and Pam. As much as I just spent a lot of time trashing The Office, Jim and Pam are great. I love it. But like, no one is Jim and Pam. Two like objectively like very simple characters whose sole purpose was to fall in love. Rock and roll. Yeah. I love that. Just two very like in real life multi-dimensional people not being able to compare themselves to Jim and Pam. Great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to you. You don't deserve that.
It's okay because it's such a funny story.
That is really funny story.
I have that quote on my Tinder profile. You know how like some Tinder profiles will have like here's some reviews from my friends, and like I have a quote from my friend Doug that says 5 out of 5 stars. If I had to say which one of my friends was the most like a puppy, it would be Marina. And then I have a 2 out of 5 stars. I could never see myself marrying her, my ex-boyfriend.
Love that. That's great.
Yes. It gets a lot of traction. I've
tried to think about what my Tinder bio would be if I ever needed it. So, a side note about Twitter, this is a great story that makes... I tell this story anytime my girlfriend and I meet people who are, like, new people. So, we were going on a vacation with my family, and we were driving, like, 6 hours to New Jersey. And, we got separated. Like, we just caravanned. My mom and my brother and his friend were in one car. Girlfriend and I were in the other car. And we needed to like regroup, so we stopped somewhere, and I was like just checking Twitter just instinctively, and I was reading like a screenshot of Tinder that was like a meme, and my girlfriend looks over and sees that, and I just hear the audible and she looks away, starting staring out the window, and I was like,
oh no,
what happened? Like what went on? She's like, are you on Tinder right now? And I'm like, no, very clearly I'm not. As I swipe up, it was just a screenshot, and it's like a completely like innocent misunderstanding, but it's just like, that's dangerous. Like that could have been really like I could see other people in different situations where that would be like a really problematic thing. Like in this sense, it was just like, oh, this fucking moron is on Tinder right to the left of me in the same car. What a fool. But I was like, no, this was just someone said something like uncomfortable to a woman on Tinder, and I'm laughing about it. Just like,
that's funny.
But I've tried to like draft up what I think my clever Tinder bio would be, and I've concluded I'm either not funny enough or not like tailored to online dating.
The key to comedy is relatability.
And the problem is that's the opposite of what my comedy is. Like I'm so out there, like whether or not anyone has laughed at any joke I've told in my whole life, just generally across the board, that's here nor there. But to me, it's like my goal is to be very far out there, not like LOL XD random far out there, but like hyperbole is my middle name.
Yeah.
I've had it changed legally, and that's a dumb joke that used hyperbole, but in other circumstances people would laugh at, but you didn't have to because it wasn't very funny. But
well, I wanted to wait till you were done telling the joke before I laughed.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Not everyone would be so gracious as you to...
No, I definitely appreciated the irony in your joke.
That's the other one. We're a big dramatic irony fan over here, but that's a whole another podcast about literary terms on a vocab list.
Yeah. But the thing with like humor being relatable is a big reason why memes don't have a very long lifespan, because they stop being relatable so quickly.
Yeah, and I think I'm a big like fan of super just fucking weird deep fried memes. They make me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Like they're like the opposite of relatable. I tried to show my mom, just because she was sitting next to me at the time, a joke that I was like cackling at, and it was someone tweeted a screenshot from an article that said, Tom Nook from Animal Crossing isn't that bad of a guy after all. And then the next one was like a photo of a crab shooting lasers out of its eyes at a smaller crab, blowing it up, saying "Silence, landlord." And it was I was almost scream laughing in the middle of a Chili's, and I was like, "Mom, this is what I'm laughing at. It's really funny." And she goes, "Haha." And I sat there in silence for a moment, thinking about, was this the best idea? The answer was, yeah, of course, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. Relatability is key. But
the last meme that made me laugh really hard was this deep fried meme. And like it has the original top and bottom text on it, and it's SpongeBob.
Oh,
and it
thank
looks like
God.
a robot SpongeBob, or like a really bad 3D version of SpongeBob. And the original top and bottom text says, "Gary, where's my fucking jewel?" And then someone put new top and bottom text over it that says, "Gary, Jesus God, I need my jewel."
It gets me. It sends me when they just put the impact font over the other one. It's not funny. It really is not funny at its core. But it, like, if I'm scrolling through Instagram Discover and I see it, it sends me.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've realized that just makes everybody go wild, and like what will send like something. The term viral is a very overused term, but it's the most apt one, is how deep cut of a reference you can make. Like if you can unlock some memory from your brain that like at least 5 or 6 other people also have that very niche memory, you've succeeded on the internet. Like,
yes.
I made a joke one time about a Modern Warfare 2 Predator missile, and out of like the group of people, a small select group of them just died. And it's like, because they were able, I guess it comes back to relatability in a way. They were able to like call back to a time where they got 5 kills in a row and blew someone up with a Predator missile, like for a game that came out almost like 8 years ago. It's like, how weird of a reference can you make? And if it lands with one person, you won.
Yes. Or like, I'm trying to think of something really niche but relatable. Like that feel when you're trying to play Red Alert with your cousin on LAN and your cat chews through the LAN cable.
Yeah. Like a great one. That's like someone absolutely was like, that's something very similar happened to me. Like one time I was playing Infection on Halo 3 with my best friend, and then my bearded dragon managed to unplug my shit, and we lost all of it. And I was like, well, first off, take better care of your bearded dragon. Don't let him out of the cage unless you're watching him, because he can get hurt and will get hurt. But like, I don't know. Like if your weird memory somewhat like ties to someone else's weird memory, then I don't know. We're all so interconnected in such weird ways.
But I think what really gets people is when they don't realize that an experience of theirs is universal. Like, everyone has a funny uncle. But imagine someone who doesn't realize that everybody has a funny uncle.
Yeah. Like, that realization must be, like, a jarring thing for people.
Yeah.
Not to get, like, too, like, far deep into this, but I saw a post just on Twitter that was like, if you think about the fact that your existence exists outside of your perception, like, people talk about you and have their own opinions of you. It's like something like, I'm trying to think of a really baseline example. I'll just use your funny uncle example. Everybody does have a funny uncle, but I guess I haven't ever once thought about your funny uncle, and your funny uncle hasn't told me a joke once, so how do I know that they exist? But my funny uncle, he rules. We're having a great time.
Exactly. Or like that joke where, what did I read? It said, if you don't have a gay cousin, it means that you're the gay cousin.
Yeah, that was a interesting tweet for me to read, because I was like, well, all right, we knew it all along. We played we play this game that it's basically Quiplash, which is great. And we played like a version of it where it's like you had to make a funny comment about someone in the room. And it was like, find one word to describe Derek. And my answer was the gay cousin, and only I thought it was funny because the rest of them were like, that's kind of fucking weird. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
And I was like, because it's really a funny joke and you should appreciate me, please.
Yeah, it is a funny joke.
But we love it. We're out here.
I'm gonna play Quiplash now.
Yeah.
We should rope everybody into playing Jackbox later.
I was gonna say, like, it would be a fool's errand to not tell everyone that we should play Jackbox later. I've been playing nothing but Breath of the Wild for like 4 days, and I need to do something else. So I'm like, please, I need to interact with people. I haven't in a very long time.
I know. I've been feeling the same way, and luckily someone invited me to a game night on Sunday night.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. My friend April texted me like, are you free Saturday or Sunday? I was like, I'm free on Sunday. She goes, would you like to come to a game night at my place at 5 p.m.? I was like, yes, I would. Absolutely. And
that sounds exactly like what I want.
That sounds exactly like what I want. And so I'm just really excited because all I've been doing for the last 2 weeks is recording these episodes. And I don't know, I was starting to freak out earlier today because I was thinking, because I was looking at my planner and how I have literally no free time, and people who have needed to reschedule recording their episode, I'm like trying to squeeze them in somewhere because I'm trying to post the first episode on the 26th.
Sorry about that, by the way.
Oh, no. You're fine. But, and then I started thinking, I did this to myself. Like, I am as busy as I am right now because I did this to myself. And I'm not just busy with recording and editing audio. I also committed to doing a whole YouTube series for The Sims Love Island. Like, am I crazy? Or
well, to answer your question, yes. But doing fun stuff like that, it's like you're busy, but at least you're busy doing stuff you like and are having fun doing, you know?
Exactly.
Like, at school, I'm half busy with stuff that I want to be doing and half busy with stuff I really don't want to be doing. Like, I got hired as the director of concerts at school, so it's like I book all of the shows for the students. And then I'm also taking taking whatever the normal number of credits is. I'm taking 5 classes, and then I'm also doing like other work with other people. And it's like I'm having a great time doing half of these things, but the other half I really am not having a good time. So it's like cool to at least like you're busy with fun stuff.
Kind of. I was venting to everybody in my friend server.
I guess not to like insert
today.
That you're like having a great time doing all of your stuff, but it's like with some of the things I should have specified.
Yeah, well, I mean, like doing these podcasts are super fun. And I'm very ready to start, working on The Sims Love Island. I'm just waiting for the expansion pack to be released tomorrow night.
Oh, and there it is. Just live stream it.
Well, I was going to do that, actually. I talked about this with Maggie. I was going to Twitch stream it originally, but my computer is not powerful enough. So I decided to screen record it and put it on YouTube instead.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, she's going to help me with all the what's the word? What's the word I'm thinking of? Semantics? Is that it?
I guess, I guess for this series, are you planning on like rewriting it at all, or are you just like playing The Sims?
I'm probably just gonna play The Sims, but also like there's definitely gonna be some directing involved.
Yeah.
Like Melanie and Maggie were talking about how they're making their Sims and posting little screenshots of their outfits, and I'm like, those look great, but I might change some things. And they were like, no, please don't. We worked so hard. I'm like, guys, I'm the director.
It's
I can make wardrobe changes.
I am the final say.
Right. I mean, I am going to feel bad if I do end up changing their outfits. But again, it's a production. But no, I was thinking of putting some fun little, like, Love Island staples in there, like the private interviews.
Yeah.
Where they talk behind the scenes, or I don't know. I haven't really worked out exactly how I'm gonna do it yet, but I need to work on a cute little thumbnail for it.
I love that. I love everything about that. That's so good.
I know, I'm excited, and at the same time, I am so worried that I am going to fumble this, and it's going to be terrible.
I guess, like, the old creative adage of anytime you do something is, like, your first one's bad, and then you learn from it, and your next one is better. So it's like, your first episode might suck, and then you're like, oh, I can fix this, and this, looking at the final product. And that's just, like, a cliche thing to say, but it's like, that's how any single person who makes anything has improved with anything.
But that's totally true. Like, the first episode I recorded of this was with Dan, and it was awful.
Yeah, it happens.
I mean, it wasn't, like, all bad, because, you know, I still think that it was entertaining, but I right after we finished recording, I wrote down a bunch of notes on how to make it better, and I feel like all of the preceding episodes have been much better.
Yeah, like, that's just how it works, and I mean, if anyone is there to, like, at least help make it be a little bit easier on you, Dan is a great person for that.
Yeah.
Just, like, a nice man, a good boy, happy he's here, but, like, it's the first pancake. The first pancake is always a dumpster fire. But then every pancake after that, it, like, slowly becomes more round.
And then the same goes with me and fried eggs.
Yeah.
It's like every time I go to make a sunny side up egg, I forget how to make a sunny side up egg.
Yeah.
And I have the one throwaway that looks terrible. And then the second one looks like the perfect, like, picture perfect sunny side up egg.
And that's the one that you eat. You throw the other one away because you
Oh, no, I eat both of them.
Good answer. Well, don't waste any eggs, please. People, we need to eat those eggs. But, like, that would just, you have a bad taste in your mouth because it just looks bad. Like, you're just angry about it. Like, this could have been so much better.
Yeah. I posted a picture of him in my server. And I was like, here's my eggs. This one is perfect, and here's his hideous brother. And then I realized, I should flip him over so you can look at his hideous face with this broken yolk.
Yuck. Dislike. Strong no thanks.
Yeah, he still tasted pretty good, though.
I love that. We love it. I mean, even like you said, and I think you can even apply this to, like, the creative thing. It's like, yeah, he tasted pretty good, and the end of it, like, sure, it looked kind of bad, and the second one was better, but, like, we had a good time anyway.
Exactly.
It's like,
what's your favorite breakfast food?
Favorite breakfast food, other than cereal? I'm a big cereal guy, but I'm assuming that we want, like, a real one. Big fan of French toast.
Right. Yes, me too.
Like, you have, yes, waffles and pancakes are great, but it's like there's nothing better than a good French toast.
Have you ever, I think at IHOP, do you have IHOPs where you are?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure IHOPs are everywhere.
They're international.
Right, you're right. They're international. They have that one. It's like unconventional, but it's become like a lot more popular. Like over the last like 5 to 10 years, where it's got waffles and what was it called? It's pretty good. It's just it's a combination that you wouldn't have thought that you would enjoy.
It's the same thing as, like, if you've ever had them, you go like the savory route and you make a breakfast sandwich out of French toast.
Right.
That's next level. Like, it just tastes like good bread.
Yes.
Like you put sausage, cheese, and an egg on there, you're having a great time. There really isn't much better than that.
Right. No, the dish I'm thinking of is definitely a mix of savory and sweet because of the waffles.
No, I need to go. If the nearest IHOP wasn't like 45 minutes from my house, I'd be there right now.
Just to look at the menu and help me figure out what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's part of it. 75%. But the other half is the other 25. That's why I do graphic design. I'm not a math man. The other 25% would be ordering and eating whatever you're talking about.
Right. Because it's pretty good. I just wish I could remember what it's called.
As long as it's not the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity, we're going to be A-okay.
No, the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity has nothing savory about it.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just think it's a silly name.
No. No, yeah, the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity, isn't that just pancakes?
It's pancakes with like yogurt and fruit on it, I think. Or I'm thinking of something that's not it at all. But I'll just keep saying Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity until the cows come home because it's great. It's a great time saying it.
I've never ordered the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity.
That's one of those things where it's like if you go to a place and they have something ridiculously named on the menu, you like, I'd want to try it, but I'm embarrassed to say this out loud.
Right.
Like, I forget what it was, but there's this one restaurant and it was like a hamburger that had bacon or something on it, and it was just like a normal thing, but it was just like the hog. And I'm not gonna say hello. Yes, I'd like a nice Sprite, and also I'd like a hog mid-rare, please. They'll be like, okay, we'll make that for you, but we're also putting you on a list now.
Yes, I'd like one order of your big fat hogs.
Yikes. When you put it like that, I'll take 3 orders in that case.
I'd like 3 of the hogs, please.
I want your largest hogs. I came here hankering for a hog. It's what I need.
I've just been craving a hog lately.
I'd like 3 of your freshest hogs. 5 even.
Nothing about that was good. I made myself throw up when I said that.
That startled me.
I want to die. But I'd also like a hog.
Yeah. I would like that thing on the IHOP menu that I cannot think of with the waffles. And the other thing.
French toast.
No, that's French.
No, that's French toast. They actually call it the French hog.
French hog. Wait, what exactly was the hog?
It was literally just like a hamburger that had bacon on it. It wasn't even like a ridiculous thing.
They called it a hog because it had more.
It had pig on it.
It
was related to a pig vaguely.
I hate that.
I hate that too. Like, you just name it something normal.
Yeah.
I go to plenty of restaurants that do dumb shit like that, and I went to another spot and they had like a buffalo chicken wrap, and they called it the buffalo chicken roly poly, and I'm like, objectively a great name, but I'm gonna feel a fool ordering it. Like, yes, to call back to an earlier joke,
I'd like 3 of your roly-polies.
But just name things normal. Just name things normal things.
Yeah, but I was at this tapas restaurant a couple weeks ago, and all of the menu items were in another language. And, you know, I'm pretty good with Spanish. I took Spanish for a few years in high school. I've been to Mexico. I'm pretty good at Spanish. I don't think that this menu was in Spanish. It didn't, like, I don't know. It was like Spanish, but not really. And so I was a little confused, and I was I was having a really long day, and in order to know exactly what's in each dish, the descriptions are in English, so I'm having to sit there and read each description, and the waiter comes over to me, and he's like, "Are you ready to order?" And I was like, I think so. And I was like, "No, no, I don't know. I have no idea." And he's like, well, what do you think you're in the mood for? You thinking like pork? You thinking, red meat, fish, vegetarian, gluten-free? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't know. And like, I'm getting frustrated because he's standing over my shoulder waiting for me to decide on something, and I'm trying to read all of the descriptions of these things and trying to remember which one is which and which one I want and which ones I don't want. And I was getting he was really stressing me out. And he's like, so are you thinking? I'm like, I don't know.
Give me 5 minutes, please. Check back.
Give me a second. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna go run those coffees over there because they're hot and I want to get them to the table hot, and I'll be right back. And I was like, no problem. Please take your time. And he comes right back.
Yep.
He leaves and he comes right back. And he's like, you ready to order now? And I was like, dude, I still don't know. Just get me these. And they were like grilled artichokes. And I thought, surely they're $10.50. This will fill me up. Like, I'm not gonna, because you're supposed to share at a tapas place. I've never been to a tapas place before this, and I don't like sharing.
Yeah.
So I ordered, and the guy finally leaves me alone after stressing me out, and they bring out my artichokes, and there's like 4 pieces.
Oh no.
There's 4 pieces, meaning it's 2 artichoke hearts cut in half.
Oh, no.
So I ate those and I was like, what the fuck? I'm still hungry. And that was $10.50. I don't want to order like a bunch of shit. But apparently that's what you're supposed to do, but as a group, but I didn't want to do that. And everyone else had already ordered stuff and was sharing, and I don't really know these people. And so then the lady next to me gives me one of her, I don't know, potato things. It was like a potato omelet, but without any eggs, cut into triangles. I have no idea how to explain it, but I ate that, and that was pretty good, and it filled me up a little bit more. But the best part about that restaurant was the dessert, which I can't even remember. I don't remember what I ordered, but I know that it was the best part.
2 things. First off, what's the best dessert?
The best dessert.
Yeah.
I want to say cheesecake, but
That's a very good answer. It's arguably the number 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, final answer cheesecake. Number 2, ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream.
Which just like as a blanket concept.
I actually, that same weekend, at our hotel was a Wolfgang Puck restaurant.
Yep, there you go.
We went there for lunch before going to the airport, and I ordered dessert, and I got a lemon cheesecake with cream, I think.
Lemon is the best flavor of anything in the whole world, and you can't change my mind.
And not only did it come with the cheesecake, it came with cookie butter ice cream.
Oh, I'm about to cry.
And, like, on the bottom of the plate was like a raspberry sauce. So it was just very light. So it was like every time you took a bite of the cheesecake, you got a little bit of the sauce, you got a little bit of the ice cream, and a little bit of like the crumbs on the bottom. It was so good, Derek. I I couldn't finish eating it, but it was so good. Like, I wanted to take it with me and
That
eat
just
it on the
seems
plane.
it gets to the point where it's like a spiritual experience more than you're eating food.
I wanted to take a picture of my food so bad, but I didn't want to look like a dork at a Wolfgang Puck restaurant.
Yeah, that it's one of those things. It's like, I think if you're taking pictures of your food, it's something that you made, and that's it. Like, if you go to like a Wolfgang Puck restaurant, or you go to like a Gordon Ramsay restaurant and you take a photo of your beef Wellington, you're a goob, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're officially that person. Like,
right, and you can't post it anywhere because then everyone will know you're a goob.
Exactly. And it's like, I get it. Some people, they're like, people who do the, like, they're food bloggers or whatever. That's different because that's your job. But if you're just like a random, like, schmo who just walked into a Wolfgang Puck restaurant wearing your Hawaiian shirt as a tourist, you lose, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, and then the second thing. So as a server, I know the struggle of, like, you want to just take their order, but you can't breathe over their neck, like, breathe down their neck, man. You just can't do that. It makes everybody uncomfortable. Like, whenever the moment of, like, everyone of, like, this four top has ordered, and the last person just doesn't know what they want, it's a mutually uncomfortable thing for all of us.
Right.
Where it's like, well, this one person is like, I'm on the spot, and everyone else is sitting here like, well, fucking order. And it's your job as the server to, like, ease that tension. So you're like, I'll just come back. Then everyone else is like, well, just put our food in now. And you're like, well, I'm not going to do that because not everything's going to come out at the same time. And it's just like, well, I'm just going to take a lap. I'm going to go take a sip of water. I'm going to breathe. And then I'm going to come bother you again. And if you're not ready, then you're the problem.
Yeah, I feel like he was trying to be helpful. But
yeah.
He was really stressing me out.
Yeah.
Like, I think he probably made it even harder for me to decide on something.
Yeah, that's why the easiest thing you can do in that situation is get gone. Like, let this person read this menu that they're already having a hard enough time understanding. Just leave them to it. Like, it is what it is. Sure, every other table you've taken care of is good, and this is the one loose end you have, but, like, breathe for a sec, man. Drink water. You're running around too much to be stressing about this.
So, Derek, we're nearing the end of our episode, and I'm gonna tell you a secret.
Please.
I was trying to get you to say a phrase this whole time. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the phrase was chicken and waffles.
Okay.
And I was unsuccessful because
I would have easily said chicken and waffles. You just were like, yeah, that other thing, waffles and I was like, well, this just seems like a breakfast platter. Like, I'm just thinking waffles and, like, sausage. Like, okay, I get it. Okay, here. I'll say, and you could just cut it in.
No, it's fine. I failed.
If you said, hey, man, what's your third favorite food? The answer would have been chicken and waffles.
Are you joking?
No, chicken and waffles is in the top 5 best foods of all time.
No, but that's what I've been doing this whole time, is waiting until a good time to try and get you to say chicken and waffles.
Damn. I blew it. The podcast is deleted. Throw the episode away.
I didn't blow it. You won.
I did it. I win.
You did it. You win the podcast.
Thank God. I'd like to thank the Academy.
Is there anything that you'd like to plug before we go?
I'm eventually going to release music. I'm putting it in writing now, like, quote unquote writing, because now I'm going to be held accountable to actually doing it because I really want to. Other than that, just follow me on Twitter at Derek Isn't Cool, because Derek Is Cool was taken by someone who hasn't tweeted since 2009. I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you wanting to talk to me for a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being a guest and indulging me when I wouldn't tell you anything about what to expect.
That's kind of what I was ready for. if I was prepared by saying, say chicken and waffles for me, I absolutely wouldn't have. But I'm glad that I still won anyway. But
yeah. I mean, one of my rules is that I don't say the words either. I just
Okay.
try to get you to say it on your own. But you made it a little hard for me. So
unpredictable.
I'll give you that.
I'm a wily one.
I know. So far, my score is 0-2. Wait, is that how that works? I don't know how scores work.
Did you so 0-2? So that means you have lost twice.
Oh, really?
I think so. Now that you're putting me on the spot.
Well,
yeah, that means you lost twice.
I have a 50% success rate so far.
Perfect.
And this is the 4th episode I've completed.
There you go. So you're at like a 2-to-1 ratio. You're having a good time.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
We love it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Derek, and
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thanks for listening.
Have a good one, my friend. I will see you later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.